and pop. I like to make stuff today. All right, pop over to change. I got to change my into my D3D persona on YouTube. Make sure that we are in fact streaming. I like to make stuff today. While we're letting things spin up here, have you seen The Tiger King on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
Dude, do you have Netflix?
Yes, I do.
You need to get up on that right now because you will not stop watching it. That is the most binge-worthy series. I don't even want to tell you anything about it. It's just go watch it if you want, but make sure you got like about 6 hours to kill.
I always do. Let me close the door and open it again.
Do you want to monitor the live stream on the on the YouTube in case anybody messages in there? You can kind of handle that if you will, and I will kind of focus on the video end aspect of it. We're just getting the stream going here.
I thought it was like a wildlife documentary.
Oh man, it's unbelievable. It's the craziest cast of characters you're ever gonna. It's just. I don't know what to say about it, man. It's just extremely compelling to watch, and it's like a train wreck.
Wow.
Here we go.
Did you ever see that series on Netflix called Ozark?
Oh, dude, I'm up to speed on that. I've seen all 3 seasons. Have you seen 3 seasons? Have you seen season 3 yet?
Yeah, I've seen the last one, man. That was pretty wild when he met the drug dealer.
Yeah, right no spoilers for our watchers, but yeah, dude, that was incredible. That was a shocker ending for me. Let's see here. I'm going to share this in a few places. See if anybody wants to hop on. Oh no, that's not what I'm trying to do. Golly, about messed up there. This is not like people get a little testy if they think you're just promoting the stuff you have for sale, and you know that's not quite what this is. This is just us chit-chatting about the state of the community and
talking about all the cool stuff.
Okay. Here we go. All right, I'm just going to send maybe 2 or 3 of these out. I should show you how to do this sometimes. This would be a big help, actually. Just catching up. You know what? You know, I sometimes wonder if it's not like a lot of mine are pages. Okay, not one that I manage. I'm sure on a page you manage it. No. I got way too many fan pages, dude. Various brands through the business, and let's see, is there any groups out there?
Did you do any updates to the Sexist1 magazine?
The what?
Sexist1, it's like a magazine or something like that?
I thought you said sexy porn magazine.
No.
I mean, it's weird what you sometimes can hear.
Yeah, you can pick up different sounds and stuff.
Okay, apparently that's about the only thing I can do. Alrighty. I think it's because I'm sharing as my page, and let's see if I can do a couple. I always like to share in Dad's studio. They're one of the ones that tend to sometimes be a little fussy about you posting stuff like this. And
oh, okay.
You never know. Okay. Oh, God. And for some reason, it's got the wrong freaking photo. Now, that really does annoy me.
What, the Disicple3D logo?
Well, no, it's like, this is called catching up. This is a catching up video. It's not specifically about any product or anything like that. But for some reason, the link shows the default thumbnail. That's super, super annoying. Yeah. Let's just check one more thing here. Boys, oh boys. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, I was able to actually use, speaking of props, which is that old thumbnail that's on there, I was actually able to use remember those poster props we were making? I never released it or anything. We were just messing around.
Oh yeah.
I'll show you how I was able to use that, and let me show you that now. Why don't we just do that? So.
Okay, tell me when to go to YouTube.
Okay, go ahead and go to YouTube and go to my channel, Disciple3D. You should see. Okay. I mean, you should see the. You should see the live stream. It should say like streaming live now or something of that nature. Yeah, okay, there it is. I'm looking at it, so it's up for sure. It's not looking the way that I wanted it to look by any stretch of the imagination. But let's see. Should be showing me the browser. But it should be showing me the browser plus. Are you still there? Oh man, now see, that sucks. What a pain. What a pain.
You just called me?
Yeah, sorry, man. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like it's trying to rock all this at the same time is a little bit confusing. I think I actually just closed Skype because it wasn't giving me what I was wanting. Now,
okay.
if I've got OBS set up the right way, it okay, we're getting there now. We're getting there now, but it's still not exactly right. I just feel like there's a master class to be had on OBS that would make all this possible and make it work exactly the way that I want it to work. But so far, it's just not. Anyway, you guys can see what we look like today in our individual isolations, quarantine time, and all that. And then we're just going to kind of like pop around the old Dazverse here and talk about some new products that are out. So, Reggie, are you following, like, when there's a big release, do you always go look at the pro bundle at Daz and you know, evaluate if it's something you have to have, or are you hip to those when they have the big releases?
All the time, every day. I check it every day.
It's kind of addicting. It's kind of addicting, isn't it? It's like that's
what it surely is.
I mean, you know, Daz are master marketers for sure, and they have created a compelling case to look at everything, even if you're not in the market like for a particular product. They present it in such a compelling way. You go, well, maybe, at least I'm speaking for me. Well, you know, I don't do that many dragon renders, but man, that's a cool looking dragon. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. I do that all the time.
So exploring the Wyvern, I have. Now, are you are actually? I am not sharing screen, so you are. Let me share my screen at least with you, and in this way, you can at least respond real time to what's on my screen. Yeah, and it's going to be a bit delayed probably if you were trying to watch it through the stream. So how's that? Are you seeing my screen real time now?
I'm not seeing anything yet.
So you have to go down to the little chat icon. Remember the little hamburger thing? Click on that, and that should show you my screen right now. And if it's not, I have done something wrong.
Yeah, well, Brett, it's never you. You know that.
You know, I got a good buddy that gives me crap. I call him Larry the Immortal because he's He's an awesome guy. I actually told him, I said, I want to do a YouTube show just with you, Larry, and we're going to call it Larry the Immortal. Um, he's a real interesting cat, and he actually is really well read. But he's one of my oldest jujitsu buddies, and I don't know. It's like you get to know people so well in jujitsu, you tend to have real long lasting friendships. But he's had an interesting life, and it's probably too much to go into right now. But he'll get his mind set on some of these things, and he'll say some things that are like, they may or may not be true, but he believes they're really true, and sometimes they seem incredibly. He reminds me of Trump in a lot of ways. It's like, it's not. I don't think anybody could really knock Trump for the amount of times that he says things that turn out to be true. It's just how he says them sometimes that's a bit abrasive, I thought, the other day they were, how it is, CNN, they hate Trump so much, and they all suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. And I know Trump if you will, but I can separate my feelings about his personality from my feelings of the job he's done as president, how he's handled a lot of things. But I think mainly he listens to the experts, whereas a lot of presidents, I'm not sure they do that, or maybe it's just the wrong experts. But he said, I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy in the world, but I've been right a lot. That's what he said. So at least, maybe he's giving room for a credit to other people. But my friend Larry's not that way. He will definitely say something is a fact if he believes it's a fact. And you could say, Siri, tell me this fact, and the Siri would contradict him, and he would argue with you. So it's hilarious to me. But anyway. Yeah, let's check out this wyvern here, which I guess is a special kind of dragon with wings, sort of like a squirrel, those flying squirrels. I noticed that it's by one of the artists I've really been paying a lot of attention to, Herschel Hofmeyer, and looks really, really, really good. Very detailed. That's a very strange design with the tusk. I don't think I've seen anything quite like that. It comes with its own fire breath. That's a real that's a plus for it. Multiple UVs, so it's broken up into multiple UVs. That's a distinction from the Daz Dragon. Saliva additive. Now, I've had products of his before, like the werewolf that has this saliva additive that looks really cool, and it looks like he's done that here too. Doing a little bit of, you can't fault that. That looks really good. Anatomy adjustment morph. So basically, he's kind of built a system into this that would be like having the add-on packs for the Daz Dragon to get your different species. And I noticed another product that adds species to it as well. So apparently, they've taken it even further. But I did notice looking at the Pose Master that it's not going to use the dragon poses, which is unfortunate because a lot of folks have those. But they've built a system, well, Riversoft has made a system for converting Daz Dragon poses, which I gather is just a script that goes in and changes the names of the parts to match the names of the parts that correspond on the new anatomy of, say, the wyvern, because it doesn't have the exact same names in the geometry for the body parts. So I gather that's how it's done. But it looks like this product, which is reasonably priced, could let you use all the Daz Dragon. On the one hand, it sucks that you have to buy something special to be able to use all the Daz Dragon poses out of the box, but on the other hand, you can use them. And this, of course, has different geometry and I think probably larger UVs. So I read somewhere you can get 8K maps in places like the wings, and that is probably one of the areas where the Daz Dragon can look a little bit not as high def, I guess I'm saying. I don't know. It looks pretty awesome though, huh?
It's amazing.
Have you seen his werewolf? Where is it at?
I have it.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah.
That's weird that it's not popping up. It may not be there anymore. Things come and go. You may have elected to take that down.
Sometimes when you buy something,
oh, you know what? You know what? Good point. Good point. Boom. That was the problem. Yeah, this right here is this is Halloween in a box right here, man. Dude, I love this. I made almost exactly the same render. Like I even looked up the set. But yeah, it's really cool. And there's some annoying things because you can't change the werewolf's expression. Not in the traditional sense, but on the other hand, he's got a lot of pre-built ones in there, and it just, I mean, if you're looking for a mean dog soldiers type werewolf, and there's all these options. Very, very cool. I didn't intend for this to be like a commercial for Daz, because I mean I sell at both places, you know, but I'm not sure about this.
Well, you know, at your HDR, I did a werewolf.
Oh, you did? Which one?
The Herschel.
Oh, I tell you what. Let me show you some cool stuff I've done with that recently.
Oh, great.
I'll actually speak of the devil. This is so being that we're in quarantine time, as you know, I have releases every Monday at Renderosity,
Mm-hmm.
every single Monday, right? And this is something I've committed to do for a year, and I'm just going to see if I can, you know, hit a year of releases, and I'm set for the next couple months as far as that goes. But I thought, you know, there's other products outside of the HDRs that I want to work on. In particular, I make a lot of poses for myself when I make my comics and stuff. So I want to get into making poses more consistently, and then just having my own like folders for them and that sort of thing. So that led me to
Oh,
this
awesome.
generic pose set that is you know, it's just all kinds of stuff, really. Just me working with different sets, and whenever I need to make a particular pose that's original, I'll just save it out, and then when I have, you know, say 20 of those, I'll create mirrors and box it up and call it like, you know, Gen Pose 1, Gen Pose 2, etc., etc. Um, there was something we were talking about earlier. Oh yeah, my pop culture props unreleased product where I just made these posters
Yeah, I remember that.
with look-alike posters. Like I got a Shokasugi ones, and this is obviously Jaws, but it's called Maws. They get testy about that.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
actually put Jaws or whatever, they won't let you go very far in that direction. So that's kind of what I had done right there. Just you know, and there's something like somebody pouring tea or whatever, you know, or you know, using a particular set in a certain way. So yeah, it just seems like there's an opportunity there to have a second release weekly, and I am I'm going to now be releasing products on Mondays. I don't want to compete with myself, obviously, but what I can do is have another release on, you know, give it those 3 or 4 days where it's out on, you know, however long it's on the front page, and then have a second release on Fridays. So I'm gonna try to do that for at least a month to see if it makes a difference. Poses, at least my poses, don't sell as well on Renderosity, and it's just a number of products thing, I think. But definitely going to try to start doing that, and you know, see what I can come up with. So I've made the first one. Actually, let me see. I could probably come up with some sort of preview. Well, maybe not. I won't bother with that. One of the things that I do to create a pose sometimes, if I don't already have one, or I don't already have a need for them, is I'll look at a really cool set, and I'll go, how would I, you know, what would be a cool usage of this set? What kind of pose would be, you know, distinctive or whatever, and I'll go from there. Do you find yourself making the pose first, or do you have a concept, or do you just kind of meander?
I kind of make the pose first, and then I try to fit it into the environment. But I'm going to try your way because that sounds really interesting. It's kind of like you're building the character, you're building the scene based off of that location.
Well, yeah, it all hinges on inspiration, right?
Exactly.
So
Just another way to shift your
yeah,
creativity.
so whenever you want, so you got a kind of a heaviest set, or which we both got pretty beefy computers, but you could always just delete everything but the chair, and then just have the chair and the table if your computer couldn't load all this and work with it. But always when I'm building the pose, I start with the default Genesis 8 female,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I noticed that the stream is far behind. Live alive. Let's see what's up. It says it's streaming, but it's just showing the browser. Oh, I know what's up. Ha ha ha. So hang on, let me go ahead and add another application, capture window. All right, Dash Studio, there we go. There we go. Hopefully folks can see what I'm doing now. Alright, sorry about that, guys. So yeah, I'm just making like a pose here. And I'll grab the character and get her in the ballpark. Now, lots of times I would already have like a seated pose. You know, it depends on whether I'm trying to make something to create a new set, and in this case I will do that. But lots of times like I already have seated poses, so I would just base it on one of those and then kind of customize it. Let's see here. Seen any good movies lately?
Not really. I've been looking at old ones. I'm just finishing up Lethal Weapon 4.
Oh man, they actually have all the Lethal Weapons are on sale in a bundle on Vudu. I don't know if you use any service. Like I've stopped buying Blu-rays and DVDs now, and I strictly buy them in digital format because I can always, you know, they don't scratch, right?
Exactly.
And so I noticed that's one of my favorite franchises, and they have those now. I just got all the Christian Bale Batmans.
Oh, okay.
Because those are all my favorites, and so they had a bundle of those for it was like I don't know, like $13 for 3 movies, and it happened to be 3 movies that, you know, like I already own them on Blu-ray, but like, you know, now I find that this is really cool. You moving the arms in a uniform way.
What are you using? Puppeteer?
No. It's just pose controls. If you highlight the figure and you go to pose controls, you'll
Oh,
get
okay,
an option
okay.
for arms and legs. Yeah. Legs are a little bit knees up. There we go. That's interesting. Interesting. I'll just jump in there a little bit closer. Try to get jiggy with it. Hey, that's it. Okay. Sometimes I will copy the bend to get it exactly the same so I don't have to eyeball it. So
Was that the symmetry?
well, I'm not doing it with symmetry. I just manually typed it in.
Oh, okay.
To the parameter.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that all right, showing you how to use that. So I can see the knees are too high. So I'm going to pose control, go to legs, and I just look at knees up, and I decrease that until both of those feet hit the floor. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, it saves a little bit of time. Got to come up just a skosh. Yeah, there we go. So then I will deal with the hands individually. Save early, save often. Making poses.
I've learned that.
Yep. And then I just try to find a way to interact with whatever the environment is, you know. Let it save that for a second. So she's, of course, laid back. So then we get to start thinking about custom things. So how serious is the lockdown in your area? I mean, are they pretty much leaving it up to you guys? It's Texas. I can't imagine they're too particular.
Yeah, it's pretty much common sense for the most part. I mean, most of the stores have gotten to the point to where you can purchase some stuff online if it's a big store like Best Buy or, you know, and you could go and pick it up, but you're not going into the store to do any shopping. Just like paying bills and stuff, I've noticed that, you know, they have a line outside and they let maybe 1 or 2 people in at a time. But other than that, you know, it's just pretty much, they got a little law saying if you had a gathering over 10 people, you're breaking the law, you can get fined for that. But, I mean, most people, we're just country folk. The city people, I don't know, I don't deal with them anymore. But, you know, grocery stores, naturally, they're out of everything half the time. But I know people that work for the store. They tell me when the shipments are coming in. So if I need something, I just tell them to set that to the side. I'll come get it later.
Right on. Yeah, apart from bread, we seem to have plenty of, you know, our regular staples. There's areas around here that get bad by it, but our town, I think, only has maybe six or eight cases of it.
Mm-hmm.
Our hospital certainly is not busy. The way they kind of talk like they were going to be, you know, overwhelmed. That
Yeah,
certainly has not happened. Hope it doesn't
that's
happen.
that's a good thing.
Definitely feels like the media has kind of, you know, presented it as a worst case scenario. I mean, you know, anybody dying unexpectedly sucks, but it's certainly not what they've presented as reality, which is, you know, that's typical of the fake news media these
Yeah,
days.
true.
Only my leftiest of lefty friends, you know, pay any real attention to CNN. Um, I seem to have a lot of friends that are libertarians, and they all, like me, realize that like there's definitely something going on. I don't, more than anything, I just don't think Americans like to feel like they're being duped, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that's being so jerkish. Usually, usually it's a little bit easier to move that. There's probably a setting somewhere that's happened that I'm just not aware of.
Okay, that pin that you put in, is that locked that in place?
Well, yes, except for unless I grab the whole body. But yeah, in relation to itself, relative to itself, it's locked it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll undo that before I save the pose, you know, ultimately.
Yeah.
But I want to get this where it's kind of like touching this.
Okay.
Something like that. I'm just not quite happy.
Yeah, I did a hand laying on a hover bike. I think I sent you that image. And she has one hand laying on the hover bike. I wanted to make it look like she's actually feeling the hover bike, you know, just like what you're doing with the arm of the chair.
I got to do a hover bike image soon. I got one recently. I bought that recent hover bike.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I think it's the same one. I love that one. It turned out really nice. Started putting all the characters on hover bikes, so I said I gotta stop.
What about that flyboard? Did you get that flyboard? I thought that was a terrible name.
Yes, I did.
I've actually got a skit that I did with a real primitive version of something like that, where I put a guy on a green screen and had him act the same. I've actually still got that. I backed those files up recently. I should try to dig that out and do something with it, like re-edit it or something. So I'm imagining, or I'll tell you where I'm going with this. I'm imagining her having a conversation with somebody at the table.
Okay.
You know, and kind of sitting ladylike here.
I literally joined. I joined all.
All right. Let's see here. Can we do this?
I love that gizmo.
Well, you know, the daily coronavirus briefing is supposed to happen at in the next few minutes, but of course it never starts on time. Haha, never. And the rock means ever. Left hand grasp. Ooh. Forward that. Yeah, you got to watch that freaking Tiger King and let me know, man.
Oh, definitely, I will. That'll be a tonighter.
You will. Tiger King, the Ozark season 3. I got HBO for like a free week on Amazon, and I'm catching up on Westworld season 3.
Oh, Westworld, what do you think so far?
I like Aaron Paul, the scenes that he's in, and Tandy Newton. I'm more of a Tandy Newton, you know, like there's Dolores and there's a Maeve. I'm in the Maeve camp. I like her character more. I'm more interested in her. And when they get off of her for long, long periods of time, I'm kind of conflicted because I don't know, man. Like I kind of feel like they came up with the Dolores plot line late in season 2 a little bit. It doesn't feel as fleshed out, and you know, so she's going to revive her people, which is cool. And then it's like instead of doing that, she's I don't want to say any spoilers, but it's not exactly what it sounds like. I like Aaron Paul's stuff, being like a guy that can't get a job, and he's a veteran and all that with PTSD, and
I love that character.
yeah, I like that character, and but so that sucks because I'm more interested in the Maeve storyline, but he's only associated with the Dolores you know, storyline. So I'm just trying to hang in there.
Did you see the? No, I can't even mention the spoiler. It was a good one though.
It's real hard.
The second episode, season 3.
Well, yeah, I know what you're talking about, and
Exactly.
I don't want to mention that. That'd really ruin it for people.
Exactly. Yeah, I caught myself.
Let's just say that nothing in season 3 is initially like it seems, and that you'd be doing yourself a disservice just to make any assumptions. You just kind of got to go along for the ride.
Yeah.
It's
totally
interesting show. I enjoy seeing more of the Android stuff, and they seem to kind of like not be showing so much of that for obvious reasons. It costs a lot of money every time they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see here. Boop, 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 boop.
I'm thinking probably later on down the season because they're showing other things, and so I think as it gets toward the end, where there's going to be some type of eruption, we're going to see more of the new toys coming out. I'm pretty sure that they're working on stuff.
Yeah, perhaps. So,
I do like the main character. She's awesome.
Oh, Tandy Newton's an interesting looking woman and a great performer. I mean, she's just yeah. I liked her in just about everything I've seen her in. She's obviously a top-notch actress. Or as my buddy used to say, and I didn't want to say this because it sounds the wrong way, she's a grade A worker. kind of makes her sound like a prostitute.
Grade worker.
Grade A worker, yeah. All right, so let's do this. Create new folder. We'll call this Gen Pose 02 because I'm going to be starting a new set soon, and this will be the first one. Okay, so I keep the names generic to a degree. I don't want them to ever be the same. Like I wouldn't want the male poses to be called 01, 02, 03 without some distinction, because eventually when I'm done creating them, I like to put them all into the same folder. But that's just me. And I wanted to make that workable without having to rename stuff. So I'm going to call this, let's see here, we will call this pose preset. We'll call it this, but Gen Pose, we'll throw an 02 in right here. And this will be our naming convention. And we'll go to this, yeah. And see, that way you could put those two in the same folder and they would not have a conflict. Here's how I save a pose, by the way. Unclick everything, right click, check all rotations only. Now this part here is kind of important. You want to uncheck the Y rotation because certain sites won't allow you to include that. Ironically, they'll let you jerk the position of the figure all over the board, but like they don't like it to be rotated for whatever reason. And so I'm checking this. This just sets it off the ground. And anytime I'm making pose sets, I don't say it's for this exact chair. I say it's for a chair. You know what I mean? Because I always want people to like tweak them out to their own use, right? Like I don't want you to just like click the pose and then hit render. That's just, you know, you're missing the fun, right? So I accept that. So then what I'll do is, oops, is I will go, now this is a note for you. I'll go edit figure symmetry, make sure you got her selected. I'll make that root. I'll make that recursive. Swap left to right. Oh, wait. Left to right. That's what we want right there. This should do it. Let's just see. Oh no. Let me undo this. This sometimes can get a little shaky. I use a script sometime as well. Let's try that one more time with that method. Figure, symmetry, root, recursive, and swap left to right. Let's undo that. I'm gonna use.
Is that turned into a mirror image?
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat and
cool.
use a script for this. Let's see if that does it the way I expected. Oh, you know, it's not gonna work because I actually did not. You have to select it at the top level, and sometimes even then it doesn't work. Mirror pose. There we go. Now it worked. Okay, that worked the way I wanted it. No, it didn't. Damn, that's weird. I wonder if it's because something was okay, it might be because I still had this unpin all. Now let's go back here. Let's do this. That's cool. Just unpin all again. And then I'm going to run this one more time. This is for G3 too, so sometimes when things go wacky it doesn't. So standard pose, mirror the pose. Oh, you know what? It will not work if you don't have it set on the top. That's weird. I keep missing that. Mirror the pose. Oh, come on now. Mirror the pose. It's just all messed up. Curious. Adjust the arms. Let's try that. Nope, I didn't do it. I'll have to come back to that. Anyway, so this is what I got. So once I have my little... So while I'm... I'll kind of like build out the promo as well. So I'll apply like a character to this. Start fleshing the scene out. And also I'm always going to render in these dimensions. About 4,000. Boom. And we'll go to promos, rendo. Okay, progressive renders off. That should do it. Okay, cool. So let's do something.
I can't wait to watch this stream. That way I can go ahead and start learning how to do poses.
Oh, there you go.
Just if I can just save them in my scenes file, that would be great.
Well, it's a lot lighter weight if you don't save the scenes file, if you actually make the poses. We'll do an extended lesson on this sometime. I gotta figure out how to get my mirror situation going on. Because you always want to make mirrors because it's just a few seconds and it basically doubles the value of your product.
Cool.
I'm letting this, hopefully it's not going to crash. It's doing a lot right now. It's replacing geometry, I guess. Oh, I gotta watch The Stranger. That looks pretty good. Have you seen Dracula on Netflix? You need to get on that.
No, I haven't.
There's a new Dracula series out. There's a new Big Show, that wrestler guy. He's got a show. And there's something called The Stranger that I really want to check out. Dadgummit, is that going to lock up on me? That would be really disappointing. So are you staying up to date on the free games available on on the Epic site?
Yes, I've got the gun home, and I can't open the front door.
Well, you know, you can go to Google. You can go to Google.
I was like, okay.
Ooh, look at that. That looks cool.
Which one was that?
Early access for new Predator game.
Predator Hunting Ground. Oh, wow.
Damn, that does look good.
Is that one free?
No, that one's $40. It's
Ah,
not
okay.
even available yet.
Oh, wow.
This looks good, man. This is good. I can see myself playing this. Heck yeah. Looks like it's just going to be like Predators versus Soldiers kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed the first iteration of that. The engines are so much better now. Oh yeah, it's throwback to the classic with the characters. That's nice. I'll show you what I've got on Epic, on this Epic installer. You can kind of see the games I got here. Jamie 22. That's not Jamie McRoberts, is it? What's up? So let's see, library. Check this out. I've got Fortnite. This is my son's installed this. I never played that. But this right here, Unreal Tournament, man, that's an awesome game. And I think this version is free. You should look on there and see if it's not free.
Okay.
And you should get that. We could definitely play that. But I'm enjoying World War Z, man. I mean, we got to do that again. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Here we go. Okay, so just want to throw some basic wardrobeage on her. So, wardrobe.
Yeah, that was a hoverbike.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I think no, that's not it. That's the rental style.
We'll just throw this on her just to have something. Give her some hair. Notice how the base pose is not perfect for her because she's a taller character, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to adjust those little things, which is easily done, but it's just a kind of thing you got to pay attention to. Okay. Right.
There's a dead AK kid right in our front door.
Okay.
Dude. Yeah, look this body. Pick me up.
Let's see what we can do with the hair. I'm so used to D-Force hair and stuff like that now. When I get one that's like not D-Force anymore, I'm just like,
Yeah, when you talk about it, do the simulation, because I had one D4 there forever, and I never used it because it was all, it starts in the, like the beginning position.
If you don't know it, just cheat. Just press. There we go. Yeah, see, this hair doesn't really allow for transforms. Yeah, from left, from right, from left. Okay, that's not what we want. There we go. Okay, that's kind of natural. Let's go with some expressions.
Wow.
Yes, I have too many of those. Okay, so now put that dining table back. Give us a bit of a If a composition.
Yeah, I really need to know where that metal chest plate went to. What? Just pick it up off the ground?
Something with my mouse sensitivity is different in this latest version of DAZ Studio. I don't know what's causing it. It's like I go to move something and it's not, it doesn't stay on what I click on. I think that feels like a UI bug to me.
Meaning, when you move it, it still moves a little more.
It moves a little bit, and then the mouse, without me unclicking, comes off. It could also be my mouse, but
I think I'm going with that same problem too. It's kind of like, say, if I'm moving something to like say 0.05,
yeah,
it'll move up to like 0.10. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a minute, you gotta keep working it to get it to
oh, you
the
know
number
what?
you want.
I don't even have to previs it that way. Check it out. I got my I started using my previous folder, my previous camera. Sorry. And,
Oh, okay.
The server automatically plays so low.
And then I can go in a smaller window and see what's up.
Nice.
So now I feel like, and the thing is, I think if you close that, you're not using it. So it's like, boom. Well, I could be wrong about that. I should research that more before I make that assumption. So now, fruit. Uncheck that. I feel like I need something on that table. Just to, and this is the cool thing about Connect. This is where Connect really kicks butt for me. I need fruit. I just type in fruit, and there you go.
Oh, wow.
Fruit bowl. It's going to be a much more compelling promo now. Okay. Don't want to mess with that. Okay. Right there. Okay.
Whose body is that? Is that your body? Yes. Why did you go out with all that?
See that? You got a little goofy right there.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Come on. Part of it's that I'm doing all this that I'm doing right now with the streaming and everything. That does take up some resources. I got a feeling our audio is going to be very low. I have to deal with that setup later. So now I just want to kind of come back here, and I want this to feel very generically placed, or just organically placed, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I think if you move it over toward the center more.
Like that?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe so. And then I should have like a phone or something like that. Phone. There's got to be an iPhone on here somewhere. Oh, what do you know?
What the?
Dude, this is how you do it. Okay. And what I'll do is I'll just use that the coordinates off of the fruit bowl to get me in the ballpark. You ain't never seen that trick, have you?
No, I did not. Blew my mind right there. I didn't even know you could do that.
Well, see, especially if you're this is a guy that's had to work on slow computers years and years and years, and you just figure out, hey, that's a way to get us in the ballpark, and it won't be exactly the same, but it'll get you in the ballpark. And then you ain't got to sit there and just scroll, 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 scroll.
Yeah, that's what I do all night
So
long.
if you look at these right here and you watch when I start to rotate it the way that I want to rotate it, oh, that's the X rotate. So we want that to be negative 90. Boom, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then we want to do this. And now I believe it's going to be Z rotate. Nope, not Z rotate. We might have to do another little trick here. Nope. Okay, so that's confusing it because it's rotated. So I want to just jump into it with this and then start rotating it like this. See, that's tricky because it rotates them all at the same time once you've already kind of moved it off of its original. So that's like she just laid it up there.
Yeah, that was really natural how it's turned a little bit.
Yep.
It's not perfectly straight.
So, setting up my render, at least 4,000. Seed girl. Progressive renders. I think I can just hit render now, and we will be cooking with some gas.
Let me jackhammer.
Over here.
Oh yeah.
Already got. I mean, I just submitted that. I already got a testing notification. It's probably telling me something's wrong. The weapon is sticking through her hand. Okay. Well, let's see here. Vendor control items, pending products. I'm working on another browser right now.
Okay.
Working on my GenPose 1. Apparently, before they even assigned it, somebody said in number 6. Oh, the weapon. Sure enough, it sure is. I'll have to fix that. Easy fix though.
Did you see that Birds of Prey movie?
I've watched part of it. I'm just not a massive fan of that one.
Yeah.
I'll probably see the rest at some point.
I thought it was cute. I won't say it was something that blew me away, but like I like the characters.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you were aware, but I have a 40% off sale going on today on my whole store.
Yes, I do know that, and I also know I am broke as a joke.
Broke as a joke.
Oh man, I tell you, just like when March Madness came, man, I did not have a dime. I was like, ugh. But thanks to you, I was able to pick up the PC Plus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was able to get that because you told me to look out for like the sales because it will come on sale, be cheaper. Sure enough, it did. It was like 50% off. I was
The
like, wow.
Ayatollah of rock and rolla.
Yeah.
So let's look at the preliminary result after just 3 minutes because I'm gonna probably wrap this stream up here in a second because I want to see the press conference.
Okay.
About 5:20, 5:30, you can count on them starting by about then. But we can at least look at this result and I'll let this render while I watch that. But open. We're gonna go to here. Promos. It's funny because I didn't even plan on starting that one next. I'll just have a little jump start on it whenever it does happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not going to do any more of these if they don't. You know, I mean, I'll do them, but I won't. Like, hey, dude, what's wrong with
That's
that?
nice.
What is wrong with that?
Nice.
I've been letting my stuff render too long. I don't even. That's fine. It might look a little bit better. I'm probably gonna let it render again just for giggles, but yeah, that's not bad at all. I'm thinking maybe I could throw like a lamp or something over here to just get a little bit of backlight and edge light.
Backlight, yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's not a bad result for like a 3.5 minute render, huh?
No, not at all.
Kind of want to, yeah, starting to get a little composition that feels okay. But yeah, okay. Nice illustration of the pose though, for sure.
Yeah,
I like that pose.
I like the depth of field too.
Yeah, man. I dig the character.
Really good.
Everything's looking good. Those colors look good on her too.
Yeah.
That's I always find darker complected characters tougher to like address with colors that work great, and then lighting too. So particularly like in Dat Studio, but was even tougher in Poser. But
yeah, yellows and oranges seem to work on dark skin real well. Like that jacket is kind of like a mustard yellow.
Yeah, I do like the jacket. I do like the jacket. Well, thanks for hanging out, man. We'll have to do this again sometime and watch you make a picture. Make some poses, right?
What year will that be? 40?
Oh man, you're already there. You're already doing renders, so you just gotta like learn how to efficiently save your poses, and yeah, we'll catch up again soon, man.
Very true. I'm learning slowly but surely.
Stay safe and stay away from the virus.
Okay, my friend, you do the same, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, cool. Bye.